Hi friends, today we are going to talk about why tomatoes were once considered poisonous apples for almost 200 years. Yes, you heard that right. The fruit that we now enjoy in pizzas, sauces, and salads was once feared as something deadly. But why did people think tomatoes were poisonous? Let's find out. The story goes back to the 1500s and 1600s in Europe when tomatoes were introduced from the Americas. They looked beautiful, round, and red, just like apples. But instead of being eaten, they were feared. The reason? People believed tomatoes caused death. Many noble families who ate tomatoes supposedly fell sick and died. This led to the belief that tomatoes were toxic. But here's what really happened. The aristocrats and wealthy people in those days used pewter or lead-based plates. These plates contained high amounts of lead, which was already dangerous. Now, tomatoes are highly acidic, and when placed on these lead-based plates, they reacted with the metal. This reaction caused lead to leach into the food, leading to lead poisoning. Since people didn't know about lead poisoning back then, they blamed the tomato instead of their fancy plates. Meanwhile, the poorer people, who used wooden plates, had no such issues. They continued eating tomatoes without any fear. Over time, as science advanced and lead poisoning was understood, people realized that tomatoes were not the culprit. Another reason tomatoes were feared was because they belonged to the nightshade family, which includes some genuinely poisonous plants like belladonna. Since people associated nightshades with toxicity, they assumed tomatoes must be deadly too. It wasn't until the 1800s that tomatoes started gaining acceptance, thanks to improved scientific understanding. Italian and Spanish cuisines embraced tomatoes, and eventually, they became a staple ingredient worldwide. Today, we know tomatoes are packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and flavor, making them one of the healthiest foods around. So, tomatoes were never actually poisonous. It was just a misunderstanding caused by lead poisoning and fear of the nightshade family. Now, we can safely enjoy them without worrying about ancient myths. I hope you found this interesting. Stay curious and keep learning.